Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let me introduce to you. Today we are interviewing the one and only light from for iTalk. How you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, Greg? How you doing?
Oh, not
Westside, how you
much.
doing?
First, I'm going to ask you how. Tell me all about yourself. Where do you come from? What? What
From,
state? Tell me all about yourself.
well, I'm from the Bronx, New York.
I'm
Grew up
from
there
the
my whole
Bronx.
life. I'm a pure New Yorker. When you say New Yorker, they should have me in the dictionary. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah, I mean, I'm a YouTuber for If They Only Knew iTalk. Me and my co we've been friends since we've been kids. I got 3 kids, old kids, because I'm getting
mhm.
old. So
And how do you meet? How do you meet Joe?
well, me and Joe grew up together since we've been like 2 years old. We lived in the same building growing up.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, literally, like, when I was younger, I got kicked out of my house and I was sleeping in Joe's house. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's like my. See, that's why like our channel will be different than everybody else's, man,
Hmm.
because it's pure friends. It's pure like people who we know each other for a very long time. You know what I mean?
How did you? How you guys started with the channel? The if you only
What
knew.
Well, Joe started initially
Hmm.
for his daughter was asking questions and kind of asking like how was his childhood, so he decided to do the podcast. I was working. I was a manager in Starbucks, and I was there for 15 years at Starbucks, and I was manager for like 10 years. And at that time, I still had clothes, and they laid me off.
Hmm.
Huh?
Yeah. Go on.
Oh yeah. So they laid me off, and during the pandemic. So initially, Joe needed some content. He needed some interviews. So he obviously my background. The time I
Hmm.
was in prison, whatever, and I was a perfect fit for the interview at that time. And then he was like, "Yo, look, a lot of people, that's been locked up or just general street life, whatever, man. You want to kind of get down with the channel." I'm like, sure, I ain't doing nothing else, man. I might as well, keep myself busy. You know what I mean? And that's how me and Joe, that's how Joe started the channel, and that's how I came onto the channel.
Do you How about how about Jay? Do you know Jay in person too? How do you meet Jay?
Say that again.
How do you meet Jay, the governor?
Oh, so Jay is a cousin of Dwight, the one that comes on the channel. So they're
Oh, I
cousins
didn't know
in real
that.
life.
Wow,
Yeah, they're
interesting.
cousins in real life. So he was around us, but he's a lot younger than me, by a few
Hmm.
years. So when I was out on the street, he was like a little kid. So we wasn't like friends. I knew
Hmm.
that was Dewey's, cousin. You know what I'm saying? So, but and then over time, you see the pictures and he know
Hmm.
of me, because they always, talked about me, whatever the case may be, and yeah, and that's how I know Jay stuff, from Dewey, because him and Dewey's cousins.
If, website. Any questions you ask for him? Website.
I thought we were gonna go last.
No. I'm turning up a little bit.
Oh yeah, you are. Okay. Just any kind of random question I can ask.
Yes. Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot
Okay.
it.
Um, are you still in New York, or are you somewhere else?
No, I'm still in the Bronx. Like I said, I'm a Bronx
Oh,
native. I'm a
gotcha.
New
Okay.
Yorker. When you say New York, my picture should be on there. I never left New York ever.
Gotcha. Okay.
do you like when you're growing up? Do you have any like problems when you're growing up? You went to jail or anything like that, or you was a good, good person?
Yeah. So I'll give you a little history, man. So as you can see on my screen there, it says Hilltop Founder,
Mm-hmm.
1993. So that was the crew that we started when we was kids. We used to get bullied. We was one building in the middle of all these blocks,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't have the numbers that a lot of these blocks or these communities had. So especially me, I always got jumped. I got jumped when I was like 11 years old by
Oh
30 people,
wow.
and yeah, they beat the brakes off of me. You name it. I mean, I was 11, and fighting 30 people. It definitely didn't end well. And then from that point, that's what everything kind of just turned for me, man. Like I was a good kid, man. I was getting good grades at school. I was getting awards for passing these tests called citywide tests. So back in the days, before regions, it used to be called citywide tests in New York. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
they did it. They probably did it in other states. I'm not sure, but I know here in New York, it was called citywide tests, and it was like what region tests are now. And pretty much everybody in the whole New York City public school system all takes these type of tests to kind of gauge to see where our kids at as far as their
Mm-hmm.
reading levels and their math levels. And like I said, I was really smart in math, and I always won awards, man. I mean, you name it. I mean, math was my thing, man. I had a 12th grade math level at the age of 8. I was very smart in math.
Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So I was a good kid until that situation happened. When that situation happened, it kind of changed me, kind of made me a little bit more darker, a little bit more to myself, a little bit more of anger, you know,
Mm-hmm.
really snappy. And from that point on, man, I started getting into the weed. I started smoking weed in
Oh
1988. I was
wow.
like 12 years old. Started smoking
Oh
weed.
damn, that's young.
Yeah, started drinking alcohol at the same time, smoking cigarettes. I mean, just everything, man. And I still was okay. Like the last year of junior high school, like 7 and 8, still was, I was barely passing. I passed more because of my old
Mm-hmm.
reputation, how good it was as a kid. 'Cause a lot of teachers seen me good as a kid, and they knew I had it in me. I just wasn't going to school. I was cutting school every day, damn near leaving school early. Me, Joe, Dewey, all going to Coney Island in Brooklyn. Um, yeah, and just running the streets. And then once I got to high school, high school is a little different, man. Now it's that's where everything kind of changed as far as me, playing with guns, selling drugs, robbing people. I mean, you name it. I kind of did a little bit of everything, like a jack of all trades, but for the wrong reasons. Uh, yeah, I mean, just there was a time I was 15 years old, man, 16 years old, man, and I'm sitting with like
Mm-hmm.
$6,000 in my sneaker box at like 15. Like my mom's going in there because we was poor. I had a little brother, little sister. They was really younger than me. They like 12, 14 years apart, so they was really young. So I was almost like a father to them. And a lot of time, they didn't have no Similac. There wasn't no food in the fridge. Father was a dope fiend. And yeah, there was a lot of times when my mom's, she didn't condone, rest in peace, my mom's passed away. She didn't
Oh, sorry
condone,
about that.
yeah, it's cool, it's cool. She didn't condone me doing these things, but after a while, I'm 15, 16 years old, playing with guns, shooting guns. Like, what can you really tell a teenager at that time that's already out there in the streets? Wow, you can't really tell them. But, I mean, eventually, just kick me out down the road. But there's nothing you can really tell that kid. What you going to hit me? I'm 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm out there. Like, you know what I mean? And yeah, man. I mean, the fast life, it was cool while it lasted, but it got me a lot of arrests. I got arrested 6 or 7 times before I was 17 years old.
Jeez.
I mean,
Wow.
from crack sales to undercovers, gun possessions, robberies, shootings. I mean, yeah, man, my plate was pretty filled. And but the last time I was 17, I got caught for a more serious one for shooting. I shot somebody. Unfortunately, I put them in a wheelchair and they can't no longer walk for the rest of
Did
their
you,
life.
or it was defense,
Wow.
or it was the drugs did it to you when you shot the person? It
It
was
was
defense.
it was somebody who I kind of had business with as far as with hustling and whatever, and
Mhm.
I kind of knew that he was tired, so I figure out, he ain't really my man like that. Like, I just he's business, but I don't feel no love for him. Let's get him. That was my mindset, and yeah, and that's what happened. He was a cab driver part time and a part time drug dealer, and
Mhm.
yeah. So I mean, and one thing led to another. Once he realized who I was, he tried to take the weapon from me, and I wasn't having that. So I ended up shooting him twice. I shot him once in the hip, and I shot him once in the leg.
Oh wow. Did you forgive that person? Did the person talk to you now?
Say that again.
Did you apologize to the person? And do you see the person now? Are you friends
Well,
with
I apologize on YouTube. I mean, obviously, I apologize in letters. Writing. I
him?
don't know if he ever got them because they didn't really want no contact with me, whatever the case may be. So I don't know if he ever got the letters, but I know I apologized on YouTube years back, man. Like I never really apologized for the situation, and I was like kind of the first time I really apologized for it. It was a bad situation, man. I shouldn't have did it. Something I wish I could have took back. A lot of people still on the wish that particular incident. I wish I could have took back, just because
Mm-hmm.
I know who he was, and and it's unfortunate that he can't really walk and shit like that. So yeah, so I definitely definitely a lot of regrets. Um, yeah, but initially, obviously you're young. I'm 17 years old. I'm out there in the streets. Shootouts, drug sales. Like I'm, at that time, like that was just part of the game, man. You know what I'm saying? And you charge that to the game. And yeah, they end up giving me because I had two open cases when I
Mm-hmm.
caught this shooting. So I was trying to get probation for the two cases that I had, and they told me to stay out of trouble. And then obviously 6, 8 months later,
Mm-hmm.
I catch a shooting. So now I'm fighting three different cases in court,
Oh wow.
and they was offering me a lot of time, offered me 8 and 30 to 25 years, 12 and a half to 25 years. I was going to take it to trial. My lawyer was kind of breaking down to me and was saying that you're going to be going to trial. You're going to be going to three separate trials. So what that means is that if you get convicted of two, if you go trial to that third one, initially
Mm-hmm.
they can try you as a three-time loser if they wanted to. They can convict you and sentence you as a three-time loser, even though these cases you're trying to get probation, but they still felonies. There's a gun charge, drug charge of over 40 something bottles of crack. I was out there, man. I was definitely out there, man. And so when I was about to go to trial, the my lawyer was like, look, man, I had got a new one because the other one, it kind of fine. So the last one, like, look, man, I'm gonna try my best. He said, the only good thing that you got on your side is that you're young. That's the only thing you got on your side. So we're gonna see if we can give you something a little less than what they're offering you. So when it came back for a 4 to 12 bid, so 4 years to 12-year bid. So I told my lawyer, I said, look, let me, give me like a week or 2 weeks to think about it. So they gave me 2 weeks to come back to see if I was going to take it. If I wasn't going to take it, we was going to trial. Like that's just what it was, and I was going to lose. There was no way I was going to beat any of them cases in trial. Under no technicalities, none of that. Fingerprints was on the guns. There was eyewitnesses saying that I was selling drugs, marked money, and shooting eyewitnesses, and there was a person that was on my team that was testifying saying that I was a shooter. There's no way I was going to win any of them cases. So I decided, when I came back, I decided to take the 4 to 12 bid, and that's what they gave me. So I was 17 years old. I was going off for 4 to 12 years. I ended up doing 6 years out of the 12 because I got hit at the parole board. Obviously, my jailhouse record. I had a few things in my jailhouse record that kind of prevented me from making my first parole board, and also some of the victim impact statements that were sent. Some of the victim impact statements that was sent was definitely wasn't in my favor. Yeah, so yeah, definitely, it wasn't in my favor, and I ended up doing that. I'm doing it 6 years, and then came home and try to change my life.
That's interesting.
Did you
Huh?
when you win? Let me change this. Let me shift it. When you went to prison or jail, you was afraid.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you're always afraid. Like the first time I went to Rikers Island. So I don't know if y'all know what Rikers. I'm pretty sure y'all do, but Rikers Island is one of the most violent jails in the world, especially for adolescents. Adolescent Rikers Island. That's not. If you ain't built for it, like it would eat you alive, straight up and down. And
I'm sure you had to learn quick.
Oh yeah, I was on the island 3 times. The first time I was on, I was 16. That the first time I was on the island was for robbery. It's like 1991, 92, I think it was. And yeah, it was a robbery that the witness didn't come to court. So after 3 times, we don't come to court. They have to let you go. So I was on the island for like a week and a half. I didn't really see Rikers Island for what it was. I did have a situation during that time. I got beat up and ran out of a house. But like I said, I was only there for like a week and a half. You don't feel that impact. Now, the second time, it was for like a gun charge and drugs. And I was there for like about 2 months. That one was a little bit different because they sent me to this place called the Sprungs. The Sprungs is like, it's like a low classification. You're not with the high classification inmates, meaning people in there like this violent, like murder, like, I was in a more low classification, more like, some robberies, maybe some drug selling, but the classification was low. So I was there for about 2 months. Had a few issues in there, a few fights. Tried to take my sneakers. They did take my sneakers. Yeah, I mean, it just, the Sprungs was bad. And the third time, and the final time I was on the island when I was facing the heavy time, this time was different because I'm in there. I'm on Rikers Island for like a year, and you see a lot, and I see a lot. I mean, on the scene, I done got cut there. I done got stomped out there. It was 5 of us fighting 80 gang members. We got stomped out bad. I got sent to the hospital, stomped out unconscious. Tables thrown on me, bleeding. Like it was bad. Like it was vicious, man. Like it was vicious, man. Like it was vicious.
And Gregory, Harry wants the link.
It's well,
Do you have a pen?
That's on our interview right now.
Oh,
I didn't see no numbers. I didn't know we was live. Because usually they show the numbers of how many people's in there and shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, because he's on stream now.
Interview, we're going to ask questions a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna ask questions and open it up a little bit later.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know your rights now then? Because of course at 17 we don't know our rights.
I mean, I knew my rights, but what rights do you really have if you out there committing violent crimes? Like I get it.
That's true, but you still have rights. You're a human being.
Yeah, you have rights, but at the end of the day, you gotta take some responsibilities for the stuff
True.
that you do. Like at the
True.
end of the day, like I shouldn't have been out there shooting people. I shouldn't have been out there robbing people. Like,
Right.
yeah, you can sit there, yeah, you can have rights, but if you're wrong, you're wrong. See, that's when you
Right.
change.
That's true.
When you stop trying to give excuses about why and just saying I shouldn't have been doing that. Bottom line, if I that night I didn't have, the hammer on me and wanted to shoot people, I wouldn't have did 6 years. I would have been out. I wouldn't have did that time. But by me doing them things, I put myself in those predicaments.
Well, I'm
Now,
not saying that you weren't, you weren't um taking responsibilities. I'm just saying, like, now as an older adult, you know your rights. You know that you know the right from wrong now
oh,
because you've
oh, of
gone through
course,
it. But I'm saying, like, now do you know your rights as a human being? Like,
oh yeah,
you have, the First Amendment. You can go and you can record. Um, in public, as long as you're in public, or you got the freedom of speech, your religion, or everybody knows those two. But do you know that you can assemble and you can get, like, we have 8 people in here, including us three, so that's 11. So this is basically a church now. So like, we can actually do a nonprofit if we felt like it, like, just different things that a lot of people don't get the chance to understand, or have somebody explain it to them or show them. For example.
Even people in prison have rights too.
Oh yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
definitely. I
because a
mean,
lot of people doesn't know that in prison,
but
they have
look, I
rights
mean,
too.
well, when you in there, I mean, you studying a law library. Like obviously, I was still fighting my
Right.
case. I'm not gonna sit there and
Yeah,
say that I wasn't trying to fight my case. Of course, at that time, I was saying, I'm not going down. Like fuck that. Like you know what I mean. So of course, I'm in a law library. Like comparing cases to my case or using constitutional right. Like all of that. Like you try to use all of that to what I'm saying, but still in all, man, I just think the only way people can change when they first come out that piece, man, is they gotta take responsibility. You know what I
Right.
mean? They have to, man.
Well, now now you're not going back, so you're going to behave yourself, and that
Listen,
kind of.
I'm 48 years old. I haven't been there since 2002.
Oh well,
So
I'm
that's
proud of you. Yep.
how
22
you
years.
when you win, how do you change your life around after you get out of prison? How you change your mind, stop doing the drugs, stop doing the killing? How do you manage to change? Because a lot of people did. It's hard to change. When they are out of prison, people come back to the same thing. But how do you stay focused, not going back to prison anymore? How you
Well,
change that?
the thing with me was that, like I said, I was a good kid. It
Mm-hmm.
just was those years is when I was, off the grid.
Like the
But
environment.
initially, my home parents, like my
Hmm.
mom's taught me, like, and what I was doing the first 11, 12 years of my life was the right thing. I've always been a humble kid. Even like in the street now, if you see me in the street, I'm very humble. I'm not trying to I don't argue with friends. Like that's just not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? I just don't do that. So I was a humble person, and it wasn't that hard for me to. I'm not gonna say it wasn't that hard. You always gonna have thoughts in your mind and stuff
Mm-hmm.
flashing, but it was a
Right.
lot easier for me to kind of just be myself. You know what I'm saying? Like that's or just being myself. Stop being what other people wanted me to be
Wanted
or
you to be.
remember what
Mm-hmm.
I used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because what they used to remember was like this nigga do light, like
When you
you know what I mean? Like that's like light, not like fight. He like that's what people remembered about me. So when they was around me, that's the type of energy that they would have around me because they know how I used to be. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So to separate myself from that because
mm-hmm.
that's where a lot of dudes get swallowed up at because they want to continue that, yeah, y'all remember? And that's where dudes end up going back because now the ego is being filled, and that's when all that bad energy just comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have a significant other that helped you also stay
Well, I
out of
was
that?
young when I went to jail. I was like 17, so I
Well, I
wasn't,
mean,
I wasn't really with. You know what I'm saying? Like I
hey,
had a
no,
little
no, but I'm
girl.
saying like afterwards, like now
Well,
you're
I
older
mean,
and
me and my wife been together for 24 years now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
So
good.
yeah,
yeah,
like
congratulations.
I was like out like 6 months when I met her. You know what I mean? But at
Oh,
that
okay,
time, I was already working though. Like when I came home, I got a job within 6 days that I was home. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've always been working, you know what I'm saying, up until,
so
recently
she was
now.
kind of the motivator too at the same
Yeah.
time.
I always just been that person. I always been a leader. Always had a presence, whether it was good or bad. Yeah, I just was that type of person, and that's how I was able to move up very quickly in the companies that I was in. I was the manager at Dunkin' Donuts. I was a manager in Starbucks. I was a manager at Timothy's World Coffee. I was a manager at Juice Generation. You know what I'm saying? So I was
Mhm.
able to, you know what I mean? Like
Now you have your own business.
right now, I'm just pausing for a second.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the reason why I'm just saying I'm pausing for a second is that that's something I obviously I do want to do, and that's something I'm looking to. But right now, these these last few months, just pause for a second. I just needed to just relax, sit
Right.
down, and just relax and just enjoy happiness and enjoy my kids. Because my youngest son has autism. So, and he's 17. He's gonna be 17. So, he's going through a phase and he's growing up to
Right.
becoming a man. I want to be
Right.
able to help him with that. I can't do that if I was at my last jobs. I'm going in at 8 o'clock in the morning and not coming home till like 10 o'clock at night. I'm not spending
Mhm.
any time with them, and I'm not, that's not going to help them. I did
Right.
that, and I lost relationships with my oldest son because I wasn't around. I was always working all the time. Which, yeah, you got to make money, but you lose for a lot of men. That's
Right.
how they lose connections with their kids because men are always working. And then when we get
Right.
home, we trying to relax. We need some time for ourselves. And now that's almost like you neglecting the kid. You don't mean to, but
Right.
as an adult and the older person, you just need that little bit of time before you deal with everybody else.
Right.
So,
Do you ever think
that
about it?
becomes a problem. You know what I mean?
You ever think about to be like a counselor for kids, like teenagers? Like 12 teenagers. You ever think about to be a counselor, like up
Like a
there?
counselor. You want to be a
Yeah,
counselor for
think
kids.
about
I
up
mean,
there.
I was thinking about that, right? But I just can't commit to that right now. Like I can't commit.
Oh, that's
Maybe 15 years ago, hell yeah. Just right now, I just can't commit like that because like my life is different. Like I said, with him is even like
yeah.
now, right?
I
I have to
understand.
come in
Yes.
at 8, but I come in at 8. It's because this is how my life is right now. That's why I do Uber Eats, I do delivery because I'm able to schedule my time around my son. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm able to do that
Your
and I'm
family
able to
comes
still
first.
make money. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Man, you come from you came a long way. Long
He
way.
has
yeah, I
come a
mean,
long way.
it's just in my life, my life just been crazy my whole life. Like I never had a time to really just sit down and just pause for a second. My life been a roller coaster. It been up and been down, been up and been down, and never been straight. I just always just been like that my whole life. Sometimes you get sick being on roller coasters all the damn time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's just sickening sometimes, and sometimes that's where people get defeated, and they do stuff that they shouldn't be doing to themselves and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I just learned that now. I just got to work on me. Like cause my mom passed away 3 years ago, so it's still kind of recent. I lost my father, my grandmother, and my mom's
Let's hear
all in
about
the
that.
last 4 years.
Oh, I'm sorry
So
to hear that.
yeah, so it's been like a roller coaster, and I was there. My mom had cancer for 10 years, and I seen it.
Okay.
I was going to her appointments. I was going to her chemo, seeing it firsthand, see
Mhm.
how it deteriorated her, and then when the day that she passed away, to see her body that was cold like that, it never registered because I was always working. I was
Right.
always working. And then when I got that time and I got called COVID, I had called COVID 4 times. When COVID came out, I caught it 4 times.
Wow.
And the last time that I caught it was right after my mom's passed away, like maybe 3 or 4 months. And that's when everything just it
Mm-hmm.
just hit me. And ever since it just been hitting me every day thinking about your mom's. Because a lot of regrets, I put my mom through hell. Like she coming in there, like she coming to visit me in Rikers Island. I'm in the Bing. The Bing is where if you fight or you cut somebody, you go there to serve your time. It's like the box. She's coming to visit me when I'm in the Bing, bringing my brothers and sisters. They
Mm-hmm.
crying because their brother is in some big plastic away from everybody else. And y'all put my mom through hell. It's a lot of regrets. I was young, I was stupid, but I put her through hell, like literally hell. Like a lot of phone calls, a lot of police coming to the crib, like just she finding drugs, guns all in the house. I put her through hell. There's a lot of regrets, so that's why it hit me hard like that because it hits you harder when you have too many regrets. When you kind of share the good life with the person, it hurts, but it's not like that pain. And I carried that pain up until recently, man. It definitely was a pain. It's just a pain. And then I pulled the plug on my pops. Like I'm the one that had to pull the plug, and nobody else wanted to do it. And it's like, I get this person could take but so much.
Right.
So yeah, I just needed a break. I just needed a pause. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm just pausing.
Anyone have any questions before we end this? Any put in chat to ask question
Let's see. I
for
can see the
I
comments. Hold on. Can I see the comments? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
you got
Oh
a
yeah. I
comment
could.
there.
I'm bugging. Oh Joe, I didn't even see you in there.
Everybody's
Salute to
here.
everybody, Angie, everybody, salute.
Hey Angie, welcome in. Welcome Joe. Knox, welcome.
Miss 702.
Oh,
Welcome.
702, salute. My bad. I didn't even look at the comments, bro.
Welcome.
Oh, you're good.
Yanks,
You were busy.
man, welcome. For calling, welcome. Big
You
Baby,
know, but
welcome.
this YouTube thing, right? It kind of gave me a new set of friends,
Yeah,
right?
I
And
hear you.
maybe I might not meet half of the people on there physically, right? But that
Uh-huh.
might be a good thing. Just because when I'm around physical people, sometimes, things can happen, or you just don't know what a person might be into. Some of my friends
Right.
who might be still in the streets, I might be on the corner with them, just hanging out, smoking a blunt, not knowing what they could have did yesterday.
Well,
Yeah,
you still his lunch money.
yeah. You don't have question to ask you. I got a question. Why did you steal my lunch money as a kid? Is that you?
I got a question for you, Joe.
No, no,
Why
no.
you keep
Answer
telling
it.
people?
Like, tell me, is that true? Yes or no?
Come on, man. Y'all like, I wish, let me tell you something. Y'all like Joe, like, come on, that's Joe Chapo. Y'all like, I'm gonna take Joe Chapo. Come on, baby, he took my money. You know what I'm saying? He took my
What
money.
would you say is your favorite hobby?
My favorite
Right,
hobby, smoking
TCD?
weed. I love smoking weed. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm smoking weed for almost 40 years. Like, I just love smoking weed. Like, that's just me. Like, nah, I mean, other than that, he cried every day. You're a funny dude, Joe. Nah, I like to do a bunch of things though. I like to spend time with my kids. I like to play video games. Believe it or not, I still like the
Oh, I didn't
game.
know that.
Since I can't physically play football like the way I want to, at least I can play through the video game. I can still be
Right.
competitive through the video game. Since I can't play basketball because the courts is always crowded and I can't get on there, well, at least I could play it on. And because men, we like to be competitive. We like the competitive nature, and that's what I like. I like watching my Knicks, like watching my Jets. Yeah, I mean, I'm just a simple old dad. That's what I am now. You know what I mean? I'm not like nothing exciting, no clubs. Like, nah, I just like being a dad, man.
Do
That's
you
my favorite
cook
thing to do.
by any chance? Do you like to cook?
Huh?
Do you like
Do
to
you like
cook?
to cook?
Do I like
Do you like
what?
to cook?
To cook.
Now I don't cook. I mean, I'll put something in the air fryer. I ain't cooking. I mean,
That's
I'll put bacon, sausages. I put all that shit in the air fryer. Chicken, cutlets, all that shit going in the air fryer. That's
does he have a channel?
Is
Yes.
it cooking?
Yeah, we have a channel. Actually, go to iTalk if they only knew the message right there. That's
Did
our
somebody
channel. I'm a
drop the link?
co-host on that channel. We going live. We go live every night. I don't, I just don't go live with Joe all the time because I be working. Those are like my work hours. Like I get that late night money and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'll drop it because Commander's in mine, and I'll drop it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on that chain. Just probably don't see me like that. But we go to our interviews. I'm on the interviews. Check out all our interviews that we did. We had a recent one with Chris. We had a recent one with Fabian for 60 Days In. We had another recent one with Ziggy. He was in the Israeli prison for 3 months, and he got disrespected in there pretty badly. He tells a story on our channel. Go check it out. Like interesting. We got bunch of stories on there from people that from all walks of life, from an officer being shot twice 2 different times to we have a transgender pastor. I mean, you name it, we got everything on our channel. So if you into any, go check out our channel.
And Joe has a question
to ask you, Joe. Joe said, what was the hardest part of adjusting when you come home?
Justin to come home. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo. Following parole. You're a grown man, right? Well, I mean, I'm 24, but still, you're a man, and they telling you that you got to be in the house at 7 o'clock, unless if you're not working. Like that was hard to follow. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like I couldn't follow that, man. In the beginning, it took me a long time. Like I to be honest, I think I didn't follow it. I just waited till they came, and after they came, I went outside. That just was too hard, man. I couldn't do it, man. That was hard to do. Parole, that shit was hard, man.
Well, luckily you didn't have an ankle monitor on because you couldn't just go.
Well, I mean, but that's how they set you up. They give you that leeway, right, without the ankle monitor, because they know you're gonna do something stupid, or you're gonna get caught doing something stupid. They know if you got an ankle monitor on, you know you ain't gonna go outside because it's going to alert them. So you know what I'm saying? New York,
how does it feel? How does it feel like it? It's kind of uncomfortable. It hurts. It's tight. It's kind of yucky when you have on it. How does it feel like? I never had one before.
What, an ankle monitor?
Yeah. How does it feel like?
I don't know. I never had one. I never had an ankle monitor on.
Oh, okay.
I've never had one either.
I never had an ankle. Only time you get ankle monitors in New York, if you're on house arrest, like for a case, like a non-violent case. For the most part, unless if you a person with statute like money or something like that, then you probably get an ankle monitor. Other than that, you have to be like a non-violent offender to get an ankle monitor. They're not gonna have a murderer like a regular dude like me got in the street. I just caught a body with an ankle monitor on in my house. Like they're not doing that in New York. No way, Jose. Straight up.
Okay, like before we leave, you have any one question to tell the people who's in trouble out there?
Well,
if do you have any questions to ask people who's in trouble out there in trouble? You have any?
I don't have no questions. I mean, they should be asking me. We have the channel. You know what I'm saying?
Or comment.
Questions.
Or comment.
I mean, I know I said a lot. I probably covered a lot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, a lot of our stories and stuff is on our channel. I speak about the jail stuff more in the details on the channel. I talk more about stories about how I used to sell crack to corrections officers. Like, I mean, all that stuff. I mean, I done teachers, like officers give me their badges for collateral until they got paid on Friday. Like, I mean, stuff like that, just wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely need footage of that.
Yeah. Shit. I mean, I think I got the short. I think I got it on the channel. I got to do a part 2 because I ain't finished. I just kind of talked and led up to that part. Shit. But yeah,
Gotcha.
man. Yeah, just a bunch of stories, man. Times we got caught. I got caught in the pool at like 12 years old. Joe was there. And I was the only one that got caught, and I tried to hide under the water, and the police came with the flashlights and seen me in the pool, and I acted like they wasn't going to see me in the pool. I'm underwater, thinking, oh, they see mad flashlights all in the water and shit. I mean, like even to when we was cutting school, me and Joe, we used to cut school. They used to have truant police. They used to have paddy wagon full of true officers rolled up on kids walking, just jumping out on you, putting you in the paddy wagon and shit.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, it's New York is be wild like that. Like literally paddy wagon. You think it's like like police. It's not. It's chewing off like be like 20 of them in the van, and then they jump your head go too. And we used to dip on them. But this particular time they caught us off the train and shit. They caught me and it took me, and that's just a whole nother story, man. Joe got away and shit. I mean, just counting the kid stories, man. A lot of kid stories, man. Man, just crazy. The
That's
stuff we
why I need
did.
to interview Joe
Huh?
next. That's why I want to
Now,
interview
Joe
Joe.
don't like the interview. Joe don't like the interview. But, yo, I mean, the stuff we used to do, let me tell you something. If Instagram and all this stuff was out when me and Joe was kids and the stuff we used to do, we would have went super viral. I mean, super viral. I mean, we used to ride down steep hills, standing up on a skateboard, pulling each other off the skateboard. You're rolling down the hill, skinning up all your skin. Like, literally, like, that's the stuff we used to do. Like, literally, like, I remember I pulled one of our homeboys with him, like, got hit by a bus, like, shit like that. Like, we used to wild out, like, as kids, man. Like, we used to cross buildings for buildings on a skinny plank, a 6-story buildings, and just looking down. If the board plank snap, you're dying instantly. Like, I mean, that's just the stuff. Yo, I'm telling you, we would be stars or in jail. Yo, the stuff we used to do, I mean, it was extra. You think the stuff they did, it was extra. Because there wasn't nothing to keep us in the house. There wasn't no video games. There wasn't it was none of that. The only thing you had to do was to go outside. That was it. Your moms tell you, go outside. Like, that's what my mom used to tell me. You getting on my damn nerves. Go the hell outside. So you go outside. Now, your parent like, you ain't going outside. That's what the parent would say now to their kid. You ain't going outside, right? But our parents told us, are you getting on my damn nerves? Just go the hell outside. Go play outside. And that's what we did. You know, like we used to stand on, like you see, I don't know if y'all seen in New York, there's a thing now where these dudes, they be surfing the trains, like standing up, and a lot of them are dying off that shit in New York, like standing on moving trains in New York, like surfing them. We used to do that on buses when we was as kids. We used to climb on back of the buses, hanging on there, riding from stop to stop. Some of us get on top of the bus, down hills. Like, just happy to be alive.
Yeah, this was bad.
We was bad. I'm telling you, we was bad. Bad, like bad,
Bad ass kids.
Yeah, we
Y'all
were bad.
baby.
Like we used to play this game called Rigoline of 1, 2, 3, something like that. And I remember Joe's sister, Lizette, she used to be she was a town boy growing up, and she always be hanging around us with shit. So you used to have to run and break through the person's arms in order to win, which sounds so simple and shit, right? Yo, she went to go and try to break through somebody's arm. Yo, somebody straight clothes on it. Boom! Yo, they closed and she flipped in the air. Yo, landed chin first on the ground. Bam! Yo, she got a dent right there on the chin, bro. Like,
let me ask you a question. Who was tougher when he was a kid, you or Joe?
Who was what?
Who was more tougher, you or Joe?
You said respectful?
Tougher.
Tougher and tough. Who
like have a temper?
No, I mean like
tougher. Who's tougher?
Like who's like more like
who's tougher? Who was tougher?
Who was tougher?
You or Joe?
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't say like not Joe will fight. Are you crazy? Like
No, no, not
Joe
fighting. No,
did you
I
crazy?
mean
No,
like
I mean,
jokes.
Joe and them they didn't play with the guns illegally the way I did as a kid. Like I'm shooting them at people. Like, like I'm not saying they wouldn't have shot nobody, of course. You know what I'm saying? But I was the one that was always willing to take the super risk. Like I was the one that went to jail. Like I was the one that was always taking the illegal risk. I'll say I was the one to take the more illegal risk.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like Joe and me crazy, man. I'm not seeing Joe get busy with them hands, bro. Trust me when I'm telling you, Joe, don't let Joe nice guy shit fool you. Trust me when I'm telling you. Like put it like this, he was able to go into the places that was my enemies. He lived in our building and they knew that he was with us, but they fucked with him and want to stomp me out. So you know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
just was the one that was willing to take the illegal risk, like to just risk it all. But it was for reasons though, because we was getting bullied as kids. They was
Yeah, I'm
coming
the
up
same.
there, stealing our bikes, jumping us, right? Like coming up in waves with their dogs and shit, sicking their dogs on us and shit like that. Like it was only like 10 of us in the building, and there's hundreds of them. I mean, hundreds of them on the block. Like we ain't winning that fight. We ain't got no guns. They got guns and all that at that time.
Mm.
We wasn't winning that fight. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
until I said yo, and I said yo, screw it. I was the one that just said we're not getting bullied no more. And when I said we're gonna start this clique, we're gonna start the Hilltop Mob, and we're gonna stand our ground. We're gonna come out here with green bandanas on,
That's
and
good.
we're gonna hold our ground. This is what we're gonna do from now on. And
Right.
that's how it
What
was.
happened?
And I led that by example, and that's what I did. It was what it was. Like you bullied us, now I'm fighting back, and that's what it was. And I was fighting back. Like I was not letting them bully us no more. And now to the point that now, right? They respect our block. They don't go up on our block jumping people like they used to. They don't go up there. And this is 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's still at least the respect because we had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like like I'm not saying Joe and them wouldn't have did it. They probably would have, but Joe had moved to Cali because his family didn't want him because they seen Joe was kind of going left too. So they sent Joe ass out there to California because they didn't want him to follow in the rest of everybody else's footsteps. You know what I mean?
Hey, New York tyrant hunter,
Salute, salute, salute.
man.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
it just, and then at that point, I just kept on going, and I wasn't scared no more. And once I got my hands on artillery, and I was able to fire back and use the same thing they use, then you know what I'm saying? It was what it was, and we wasn't back. I wasn't backing down no more. Unfortunately, they still killed one of our friends though. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Oh
it just,
wow.
yeah, they killed our best friend Tremaine. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So, but yeah, but they knew I wasn't around. I was locked up at the time.
Sorry to hear that.
If I was around, you better believe. I'm not saying maybe he wouldn't have died. Maybe I don't know, but I know if I was there, I was going to put in some major work. Bottom line,
Right.
that's what it was going to be. It was going to be major work, right? Because I was just tired of it. Yeah, you're not going to continue bullying us, like nah. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Well, that's all the questions I have. Light. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for your time.
No problem, man. I told you I got you. Didn't I say I was going to do it for you,
Yeah,
man? I told you,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I know. Yeah,
Mhm.
you did. Yeah.
He was worried.
West,
Yeah,
West,
yeah. I'm sorry, man. It just like I just got caught up, man. With the famine out. I was doing
go on
deliveries
of
earlier
that.
and stuff, trying to make
I
some
know.
money and shit.
No,
So you
no,
know what I
it's
mean.
it's
But
not a big deal. You made it.
yeah. I'm a man of my word. You know what I mean? I was a little late. I hate to be late. One thing, anybody, if they see this and they know they work for me, right? And I'm sorry if I ever had to, do with the company, unfortunately. But they know how I am. One thing I didn't play was time and attendance. Like
Right.
I didn't play time and attendance. I hated people who was late all the time. I get it happens. Train, like I get it. I get it because it happens to me once in a while. But when they came to me almost every other day saying, no, no, no. You gotta fix something. You gotta leave a half an hour. I don't care if you come in a half an hour early. You want the extra time? I'll give you the extra time. I just don't want you to be late. I'd rather you be here half an hour early. You know what I mean? And that's how it was. So
Thank you, Chet, for coming. And don't forget today at between 8:30 or 9, go to Joe. If we and you if they go live tonight at 8:30, I believe so. You guys take it easy. Thank you, Chet, for coming. Everyone, thank you for coming and support me and Westside and the Artak family. You guys take it easy, and I see you guys around. Bye bye.
peace, love, and
Later.
increase.
And make sure you hit the like button.
Hit that like, share it out too. Let's show some
Yep.
support, man. Let's get Greg up to that 1,000, man. Stop playing, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no
Yep.
problem, man. Let's